Hello, this is Rob, and welcome to RBND Reviews. I just did my list of the best movies of 2011, and now I'm going to do my list of the worst movies of 2011. So I picked 5 movies, and again, you don't have to agree with my choices, but these are my thoughts on it. My number 5 pick of the worst movie of 2011 is Season of the Witch. It came out last January, and it was actually the first movie that I reviewed last year. It stars Nicolas Cage and Ron Perlman as deserters during the Crusades who will be pardoned if they take a suspected witch to a monastery to stand trial. Out of all the movies that are on this list, I think this is the movie I kind of enjoyed more because the movie has a very good look to it, and I think Cage and Perlman they were really funny together, and I did laugh unintentionally throughout it. But this movie, it really wasn't scary, and I think that it was just made so that moviegoers could just heckle along with it as it played. The film had repetitive and unoriginal battle scenes, and there's a character that sounds like he got picked off of the streets of New York City, and it had cliched dialogue. I don't think this movie was meant to be taken seriously when it was made, so that's my pick for that. My number 4 pick is Something Borrowed. Now, I like romantic comedies, especially the ones that were made during the golden age of movies, but lately they've become very formulaic and has very low physical humor added into it. I like Jennifer Goodwin's character as an attorney who's a friend to Kate Hudson's loud party girl character. Now, I'm one of the people that think that Hudson can act, but why is she are romantic comedies the only scripts that's being offered to her? Because, I liked her movies like Almost Famous and The Skeleton Key, but I don't know if she's been doing romantic comedies because those are the only scripts that are being offered to her or what, but I would like to see her do something different for a change. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think any of the characters really had any chemistry together, which is I think is a very important element with romantic comedies. I did like the character of Jennifer Goodwin's sarcastic best friend. I know, sarcastic best friend, how original is that? He was played by John Krasinski, and I thought he was very funny in it, but other than that, Something Borrowed I didn't find enjoyable, and the characters really got no sympathy from me whatsoever. Alright, for my number 3 pick, this year there was quite a bit of sequels, remakes, and prequels. A couple of them appeared on my best of list, but my number 3 pick is a remake of a cult Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Conan the Barbarian. After a very good beginning where we see how Conan becomes the barbarian that he is, the movie turns into this very repetitive pattern of action scenes followed by scenes of exposition where the dialogue tells us, the viewers, how we're supposed to feel, what's happening, and how the characters are supposed to feel, and then it goes back to action, exposition, and as a result, I felt really detached from the characters, and the film just became predictable as it went along, and I just found it to be very boring. My number 2 pick is Priest, which is based off of a graphic novel where priests get to fight vampires in the future. Now, Priest, it's a movie where I really wanted to like it because it had some very good elements in it. It had some religious allegory, and it sort of toys with the idea that religion is running mankind and priests don't really care about the people that they serve. And the movie had some very good visual effects, which is what director Scott Stewart's background is in. He did visual effects for a lot of other movies, but I don't think he can direct actors very well. With the exception of the female cast members, everybody in this movie seemed to be stiff and gruff. There were hardly any characterizations, and the actor who was playing the sheriff sounded like he was reading off of a cue card. The movie is supposed to have suspense, but I did not feel on the edge of my seat. The film had a lot of characters who disappear and come back, and sometimes I forgot who they were, or I got confused with them. And the film, I think, lacked heart, but I really wanted to like Priest, but to me it just turned into a mess. Alright, my number 1 pick of the worst movie of the year. Now, this shouldn't be a surprise to many of you who have been following the channel last year, but my number 1 pick is Your Highness. Let's see. Dave wanted to, who co-hosts the channel with me, wanted to review this movie, so I went along with him, and to me, the movie really wasn't that funny. It was kind of stupid to me. The only scenes that I laughed at were scenes that were in the trailer. And the film used swear words as a crutch. I mean, using swear words to make people laugh can be done, but if it gets overused, then obviously it's going to get old right away. And I don't think it really helped the characterizations much. The story, I think, had a very good premise, a sort of parody of fairy tales where knights must rescue a damsel in distress from a wizard, but I don't think it was executed very well. There were some scenes that I thought were in bad taste and disturbing. Like there's a scene where the knights go visit this wise wizard, and it suggested that James Franco's character was abused by him as a boy, and I just don't think that's very funny. It's too serious of subject matter, and I don't know anybody who would find humor in it. Natalie Portman was in the movie, and as a female warrior, out for revenge. And I thought she brought some class to it, but James Franco seemed kind of cardboard-like and stiff. And Danny McBride, some people don't think he's really that funny, but based on what I've seen, I think he can be if he's given the right material to work with. But